We are all born with potential, but not everybody receives opportunity. Sometimes closing that gap between the two is the job of a mentor.
You know, mentors provide influence and guidance and are always needed, especially at the start of the school year. And Mark Thompson is the Wicomico Mentoring Project Coordinator. He joins us today. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me again.
Yeah. So you know all of this, the power of mentoring firsthand.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this year. You know, I was saying that this is the first year in about almost 2.5 years that we have a first clean start of school. So the kids are coming back, children are coming back September 6th and 7th. For the first time in almost 2.5 years. And what we're so excited about this year is we want to double the number of mentors that we had last year. We only had about 200 mentors last year.
Right.
We want to triple that because every child, I always say, every child in our school, 14,500, needs a mentor.
So 200 sounds like a lot, but you need a lot. Tell us about the Wycomico Mentoring Project.
Well, the Wycomico Mentoring Project's been around for over 20 years, and what we are, a school-based mentor program, meaning that we mentor children within our school system. Unlike big brothers and big sisters that we partner with, we want people to come into our school building to work with children one-on-one or in groups, to talk to the kids, to motivate them, to encourage them, to keep them in school during the school day.
So with the one-on-one, how do you pair the mentors with the students?
What we do is in our schools, we have some fantastic school coordinators. And then this year, we hired what was called community coordinators, which are going out in the community to help bring people into our school. We want to bring the families, the community into our school building. So when someone signs up to be a mentor, they talk about some of their wants, their likes, their hobbies, and then the people in the school pair them with a child. But what we find out is that even though you say, well, I don't have anything to offer, you really do. When you sit down with a child and you start to really be transparent and let them know, you know, I've made mistakes, or here's how I've succeeded in life, you'll find a connection with a child.
Did you see him just light up?
Yeah.
He loves that part of the show. So what kind of commitment are we talking about?
We're talking about only about 45 minutes a week, just coming to
Really?
the school building. And here's what I have, I call it a la carte mentoring. You can come in for breakfast and sit down with the child while they're eating breakfast. Come in at lunchtime, just to sit in the cafeteria with them. You can come in as a group. If you have someone from your office, you can bring them in. Whichever way you feel comfortable. The children want to see you. They want to know what it's like, how did you get to where you are? And I tell you, the connections that you make are, like I say, mentoring makes a difference.
Yeah, because it's not, you're not just helping the child, but I imagine it's rewarding for the mentor.
It's so rewarding. Last year, and believe it or not, I committed to mentoring a group of students at Bennett Middle School. Every Tuesday, I went into Bennett Middle and met with about 7, 8 young men, brought them pizza. And let me just tell this quick story. There was a young man, he's about 6'6", big kid, never really talked too much. But during the time of our mentoring, my dad passed away. And I shared that with him, the struggles that I went through with my dad. Would you believe a few months later, I was talking to the gentleman's father about how you should be proud of him. And his dad died the next week. And then he came to me and said, how do you handle this? The only reason he came to me is because we had that connection through mentoring. And that's you never know.
He related to you because of the time you spent and the stories that you shared.
And anyone can do that. Share your story. Everyone has a story to share, and you never know how it's going to relate to a child. Okay,
so is there some kind of qualification to be able to mentor?
Well, as long as you don't have a criminal record, we bring you in. But you go to our www.wcboe.org. You fill out the one-page application. We just ask that you be honest when it comes to criminal checks.
Right.
But when you come into our schools, all of our schools, we have a machine called the Raptor machine, where you put your ID in and it checks for, child sex offense, things like that.
Right.
But then you come in. But here's the other critical thing about our mentoring program. You're never left alone with a child in the room. There's always another adult, a staff member that's within earshot of you. And that's just for safety of you and the child.
Right.
That's incredible. We'll have all that information on our website,
goodness.
delmarvalife.com. Mark Thompson with the Wycomico Mentoring Project, something I know you're passionate about. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And remember, like I tell everybody, sign up. Mentoring makes a difference.
Mentoring makes a difference.